Young, obviously a tough game coming up this Saturday. It's Barrow. What are your feelings into that one?
Listen, they're doing really, really well since obviously the new manager's gone in Peter Wild. I think they're 4th in the league at the minute. So we know we're coming up against a team that's banging form. Obviously we've had to dust ourselves down after what was a really mammoth trip on Tuesday. But the boys seem really happy and firing today in training and lively. So fingers crossed we can take that into the weekend.
Yeah, I've got to say personally, coming in, the energy amongst the place and the happiness of the players was top draw today. I don't know what's inspired it. Was it maybe the result midweek and the performance there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think just in general they're just a really good group. They're really good amongst each other, and they do sort of keep each other's chins up off the floor. But generally, I think they've been brilliant all season, and I can't say a bad word about each and every one of them.
And how is sort of the fitness of the group? We've had so many fixtures. Is it going to be more rotation for Saturday, do you think?
Like I said after the game on Tuesday, I think a few lads have played themselves into sort of the reckoning this weekend. Obviously we're going to give it another 24 hours to see how the group sort of settled down from the game, because listen, it was a really tough test and really mentally draining, more than as physical as some of the games have been. But we obviously know that we're coming up against a really good team on Saturday, and I'm going to try and put the best team out there to try and get a result.
It's getting tighter down there at the bottom of the table. Just how important is this game on Saturday, and what can the fans do maybe to help the team out?
Yeah, definitely. I think results went against us on Tuesday. I think there were some really shocks in terms of, you look at Rochdale and Harrogate and AFC Wimbledon. But listen, all we can do is control. A big one I say to the players, but is control the controllables. And we've obviously got 3 games this month in Barrow, Walsall and then Gillingham before we have the sort of break, obviously missing the next round of the Cup. So listen, we're going to use that block of games and hopefully get some points from it.
Personally for you now, you've been in this role for a while. I suppose, how are you embracing the challenge of becoming the manager, and what have you been looking to introduce to the team, and how successful has it been, do you think?
It's been okay. It must have done okay. Like I said to the staff and the players, listen, we've been nominated for Manager of the Month, which is a fantastic feat in our first month in charge of a new sort of management group. The staff have been fantastic around me, and I can't thank them enough. And there's obviously little implements of the game that we've been trying to get into the players and trying to get into their head. I think going forward we've been really, really good. But that because of the sort of attacking threats that we've got in the team. And then it's just making sure we marry that up with the defensive side of it. So fingers crossed we can and put in a complete performance on Saturday and stand us in better stead.
And the players over the last few weeks have really sort of praised you to the hills. They're very much in favour of you being in charge. They like how it's going. How important is that to you, for you to hear?
Yeah, but listen, I think the feeling's mutual. Like, as long as I'm treating them well, regardless whether they're in the team or out of the team, and they feel that sort of transparency with me, I think they'll always stay like that. I think it's maybe just a different voice at times. That's all it's been, and that's no disregard to the previous management, because like I said in my first initial chat, like, I was really, really very much looking forward to them, and I hope they go on to have a really successful time. But now it's sort of mine and Tony and the rest of the staff's time, and listen, we've got our teeth into it. We're really enjoying it. We've picked up some fantastic results, and now it's just about building on that. Thankfully, we were unbeaten in the league up to now, but we know that coming up against Barrow on Saturday is going to be a really tough test, and it will really test us as a group, not just as staff, but as players as well. But listen, I've got full confidence in the players going out and putting another fantastic performance in.
Lynchy, we know you're fresh off the massage bed. We'll try and keep you awake for this one. How are you feeling?
Yeah, right. Yeah, obviously, it was a good night on Tuesday. Lads are just recovering today. Been in good session. Some good smiles on the faces and that, and looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, the vibe around the place today was amazing. I think it's one of the best days I've seen down here for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's getting better as well. It's an enjoyable place to come into at the minute. Lads are looking forward to it as well. Starting at a new training ground, which I think is next week and stuff. So Tuesday, regardless of the result, it was a positive night. Some lads did themselves favours. A lot of competition for the weekend, and it's positive. So hopefully everyone's ready to go, and we'll go on to get the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously Barrow at the weekend. We know they're a tough side. They're up there in 4th. What do you think we can expect from them?
They're going to be tough. They've done well over sort of the break, and they've signed a few good players. They've strengthened since last season. I think it's more about us. We need to be at it. We take our sort of momentum from the last few games. I think if we do our job, we should be confident that we can get a good result.
We got yourself back from injury, obviously, but also quite a few more bodies back from injury, and we don't seem to have as many on the injury table at the moment. Touch wood.
Yeah, no, we were talking about that actually. The lads have done well to get themselves back. Obviously, I'm obviously happy to be back. It's my first 90 minutes since the end of sort of last season, so it's good to be back, and it's good that there's fresh competition as well in places. Still a few players like working on fitness and that, but it's working well because sort of everyone's being pushed by whoever they're competing with in different positions and stuff. So yeah, it's good at the minute.
And I suppose it helps to have that depth with the amount of games that we're having to play at the moment too.
Yeah, a lot of games coming over Christmas and stuff, so competition for places is good. It's always healthy for the squad, and obviously with the way lads are training as well, and like the morale around the place is positive at the minute, and we'll look to push on in the league.
Thank you, Joel.